Alright, June 20th, 2020, 6:25 a.m. Here's the start. Same parking lot from last week. Started my hike. It was finally cool, so it's the only time I could do it. These pictures will be lasting 7 seconds with a mixture of video. This is a little plateau I walked out on. This ravine in the canyon area is so vast, so I never saw this one before. This photo, I'm trying to show how the rocks are made, these little tiny pebbles, and I picked up 3 of them and put them there. The flat one, you can see that. A little bit further in, there's this big circle of rocks that somebody made. Really, nothing significant, but I kind of like it. Looking down into this little green valley, most interesting because there's a creek down there, natural creek flowing that makes this whole area all green. And it's very cool down there, temperature-wise. It's a lot bigger than you look. Okay, now I'm going to give you some aspect of what it's like walking in this area. I mean, it's so unbelievable that this is in Las Vegas, or at least on the edge of the town, up here in the desert. All this grass growing. You can hear, well, I guess you can't hear, but you can see the path. I'm heading up into the rocks right now. This is down over, the creek actually runs over to the right, my right side of the screen. And so another trail, which runs to the left of it, but this trail goes right down the middle of it. I love these older trees that you get closer. I like so many different kinds of trees up here. Lots of greenery. That's what I like. I'm like a mixture of the stuff. It almost kind of reminds me of the old apple orchard. Okay, now we're looking up at a point behind me where I'm going to start climbing some rocks here. I'm parked right over there, about a mile and a half away. Right now, about this time in the morning, it's probably about 80 degrees. Very comfortable considering it's going to be 108 today, I think, in Las Vegas. June 20th. Oh yeah, and they got a couple hummingbird feeders out there. They're not full with anything. Maybe one bird feeder and one hummingbird feeder. I didn't see any birds, but maybe somebody keeps them filled regularly. Not me. Their old dead tree. Some of these trees actually look dead when you get close to them, but then you get close to them, and you see that there's actually new green buds growing on them. It's very interesting. Look how blue that sky is. So I'm making this the long part of the video, walking through here so you can see it's a really huge area. It's not just a little tiny area. There's definitely a natural spring with the water running out of there. I noticed the trees get a lot lusher down towards the creek area. Little tiny creek. Very slow moving creek. Okay, so here I am. I've started climbing up, started the ascent up the rock cliff. You can see, I just want to show the overall area. I'm going to try to go up there to where that black stripe is. Now, I don't think the camera's not picking it up, but I found this lichen. It's blue colored lichen growing. And then I found this bright green lime safety vest lichen that's growing. 2 very significant different colors. Alright, I'm getting up higher and I just found this dead branch. So I just propped it up, took a picture of it. I liked it. Okay, now here I'm going to show you. I've started the ascent of the mountain. And I'm just wanting to pan around so you can see everywhere. Because it's just amazingly green and rocks up in here. Reminds me of like the opening credits of the Ponderosa Pine. Alright, and that's where I'm climbing up to. I picked this spot because usually where there's trees, there's pretty easy to go. This area reminds me of looking like it down in Bend in Central Oregon, and those 2 Ponderosa pines growing there. Alright, there's a look down. I'm starting to go up higher and higher. You get to the top, there's this little cave, tiny little cave. It's not proportionately able to see it in the photo, but then you get close and you could actually stand up in there. More like a little tiny room. You could probably hurry in there if you had to get away from the rain. Again, another good angle with a tree. Okay, so what I did was I climbed up this crevasse right up here called scrambling, using your hands and feet, showing the angles, get up a rock and the pressure. And I love that old little tree right there. That tree is so cool. Another old, that's where the tree was I just took the picture of. You just saw. And then up there, and I want to go down. Looks like there's some kind of wreckage down there. Right by that, where is it if I can line it up? I'm in the wrong spot. Not that, just a little bit
White
right
stuff
there.
Down there looks like debris, but it's not. It's actually white rocks.
It looks like some wreckage of something.
I walked in there a little at the end of my hike. I walked down there, took a look at them.
Nope.
It's white rocks.
My big finger in the way. Right there.
Looks like airplane debris.
Looks like some kind of wreckage or something.
Pointed right there.
I saw it from another angle. Well, I'm gonna head across. Go back to the wide lens here. I'm gonna go across this city sidewalk right here.
Okay,
along with the side of the trees
this
are.
Stretch right here, this sidewalk
just kind
right
of
here.
slope down
over
into
here,
that area.
So I can
right
go
along down here.
right along this edge of this
So
valley.
I've had
So
my
it's
drink.
kinda like a big
Had my
switchback
poop
area.
up here. Let's go.
I noticed this area, this black streak, is where the water runs down off the mountain from this little area where it collects when it rains real hard. Now I'm over near where this water drains over the hill. You can see the color discoloration in the rock right there. And then there's going to be this natural bridge I'm going to get to over here in a moment. It's a natural rock bridge, something like you might see in Arizona, but I did not walk on it. No way. Alright, so yeah, I came across, this is the first part where I encountered this little rock bridge. And I'm thinking, I wonder if I could walk across it. And then I got to this angle and I said, no, I'm glad I didn't. It's too thin. Very thin area. But interesting to see. Here's another angle showing it. And it's just amazing that that goes across there. So I'd never have encountered something like that up here in the Red Rock area. Quite a surprise to me. Down there you can see more of the line, the creek line. Alright, I just like taking pictures of these old trees. I just love the way they're all twisted and windblown. If you notice, it almost looks like a snake. If you look past it starts in the center point and it just kind of goes back and forth, left and right. There's this other old tree up around the bend from when I was climbing down. I'm like, I gotta get a picture of that. I got closer to it, just kind of cool. And there's several shots here. There's more blue rock. Just that I love that enchanting blue rock. It's so cool to see. Extremely blue at times. The morning sun is shining on it. It's probably about maybe 8:30 in the morning right now. Now I'm getting ready to head down and follow the creek back up. So I'm turned around and there's the path that I wanted to take. I'll probably do that one later. That one looks like a face. If you look at it right. And I wanted to show, just pointing out, okay, because up right there, that's the tree, that's the crevasse. I started right there, and I climbed up, and then that's when I followed the switchbacks
walked along that edge right there. Let me back up a little bit, okay, so you can see it. So I backed up a little bit, walked along there, and then you follow the greenery right along here, and I just switch back and forth to get down where I'm at. Okay, now down by the creek side, I like this area because I'm completely surrounded by trees. It's just amazingly cool, so enjoyable. Now here's a panoramic I took. I don't know if it's going to show up on the video, but I wanted to do a panorama just to show that I am completely surrounded by greenery. And this is where I'm going to start getting into some animals and insects that I ran into. I ran into a rabbit, a cute little rabbit, a little cottontail, maybe about as big as a loaf of bread. It's the only photo I got. He didn't stick around very long. Alright, then my usual encounter with lizards. I think they are so interesting because he's probably captivated by me and I'm captivated by him. But then, you know, he doesn't see a hand coming at him with the camera. He just sees this big round box, which is my cell phone, coming at him, and he doesn't probably know what it is. I have no idea. He's very interested in what I was doing. I was interested in with him. So he's looking up at me. Might have to try to catch him and give him a name. No. Then he turned around and you look at his scales on his tail. He's not very big. He's probably about big as your hand. He wouldn't make a good meal. I don't know why lizards do those little push-ups. Maybe it's got something to do to keep the blood flowing in their system. But then he said, okay, we're done. That's enough of that. And here I found the first bit of the water, standing water. And it's very slow moving, but there's a little algae growing in it, but not bad. Very clear water, and there are water skippers in it. So I've got a few photos of some water skippers here on top of the water. So it moves just enough to keep the water flowing to feed them and for them not to float away. Don't think I've seen a water skipper in 20 years. And I just like this photo because of the tree, the reflection. The water is calm enough. You can actually take a picture like that. Another tree reflection into the pond. And then, if you can tell with this one, it's this other little cove, a body of water. There's a lot of dragonflies. Now, there's this little creature that I don't know what it is. It's like a bug or a fish or something, like an alien spacecraft. So I'm trying to film it while it does its swimming around, which I can do in this water because it's so calm. And it goes around. It almost looks like a baby turtle, but it's not. There's another one. They swim around in there, unless it's a water skipper, and it hasn't developed its back legs yet. And then there's this other little, like a water beetle or something that I got swimming down to the bottom. He's the big one right there in the center, and he's going all the way down. So I saw him. So that was interesting to see. I don't know why the screen is black right now, but we'll just let it go. Okay, then the dragonfly, the big dragonfly I saw, orange, reddish colored. If you opened up your hand flat, lay your hand flat, and that's how big this boy is. He's a big dragonfly. He's colored orange because the fact is, he blends in with the rocks, and that way he doesn't become someone's lunch. He's quite huge, and he was patient. A very pretty bug. Did I say that? Sounds funny to say that, a pretty bug. Well, yeah, my left shoe is wet because I accidentally stepped in the creek trying to take a picture of the dragonfly, which I thought was interesting. This is where I want to go hiking tomorrow. I think I'm going to follow this loop right there where that yellow blob is where I'm at. So I decided to follow the road back to the parking area so I can get a different view and take a look at some of these houses that are out there. I'm only like 10 minutes from the parking lot. These are some houses out there, big Ritzville. I wouldn't want to own one of these houses.